So I came across something quite laughable. I understand the need to support Muslim-owned companies. I get that. I'm all for that. And there needs to be halal products, halal collagen, which I totally understand, halal beef protein. But I draw the line at electrolytes. Halal salt doesn't exist. Halal minerals do not exist. Halal whey protein, there's no need for that to exist unless there is a risk of cross-contamination, or there is companies who are making the whey protein and then they're also making beef protein in the same kind of region. Then yeah, you can probably question that. But I don't really know of any company that's ever had that issue. But it's not even possible because whey protein comes from the cheese making process. Yeah. So if you're wondering whether whey protein needs to have a halal label on it, think of it this way. When they're straining the milk to make the cheese, they're drying up the leftover residue, which is then turned into whey protein. So unless they are sacrificing a cow in the background or something along those lines, it's completely halal. It is as halal as your milk in the morning. So if you go to Asda or Tesco or Lidl or Aldi and you get your milk, then it's as halal as that. But where I draw the line was electrolytes. I've never quite understood this one. Now, companies know, you guys don't know any better, including me at times as well. So what they will do is they will put halal certificates on things to make them seem more credible. For certain things, I understand it. So for beef protein, totally get it. You know, fish oils, for example, although I think it's fish gelatin that's used. Collagen, I get that one. But when it comes to creatine monohydrate, for example, yeah, synthetic form, although there's a bit of confusion because creatine predominantly, you can get a lot of it from red meat. So when you're having like keema and stuff like that, then yeah, there is a degree of creatine you get, but nowhere near enough. So there is a bit of confusion there, but understand that they're not grinding up red meat and turning that into a powder. That's not the way it works. If you actually look at some of the Muslim-owned companies and they've got like halal trusted creatine monohydrate, and then you look at My Protein's creatine monohydrate, the price difference, wow, a lot more expensive here and good, decent pricing right here. And they know that people are going to be confused about supplements. They know that you struggle when it comes to understanding supplements, but the moment they slap the halal certificate on there, legit, that must be the right one. But you probably don't know that they're inflating their prices by £7 or £8. Yeah, I know a lot of people are going to get annoyed at me for doing this. I'm not having a go on Muslim myself as well, so I need to ensure that I consume things that have got halal certificate on them. So creatine, there's no need. Anytime you see a supplement out there, question it and see whether you need it in the first case. But a rule of thumb is whey protein comes from cheese. It's basically just dried up milk powder. Just look at it that way. Creatine monohydrate, synthetic form, so don't worry too much about it. And then electrolytes, well, that kind of explains itself because I'm not sure if anyone's seen salt or like other minerals that have got the halal certificate on there. It genuinely makes no sense. So if you want to continue spending your money, there are two types of people who would benefit from looking at these supplements that have got halal label slapped all over it. So if you want to support Muslim-owned companies, I get that. Cool. If you're happy spending a bit more and buying things you probably don't need, but you just want to support them, fine. I understand that, okay? But if you're buying it because you think, oh, it says halal in it, so it's safe, it's good, then you got to understand that they've bumped up the prices because they know you're confused. So they're giving you a bit of reassurance, but there needs to be no reassurance because the product themselves isn't haram in the first place. Do you see where I'm coming from? So save your money, okay? If you want a whey protein, just get a good quality whey protein concentrate. If you want to get creatine monohydrate, there is no such thing as creatine monohydrate for women or any of this nonsense. A basic creatine monohydrate will do the job. And electrolytes, get anyone if you really need them. I would say for most people, they don't really need them unless you are losing a hell of a lot of sweat and you're exercising, which is, to be honest, not a lot of people unless you're doing lots of sports and you live in hot climates. Maybe in the month of Ramadan you could. I'm not a huge fan of it because I don't really see the need if you're able to hydrate throughout. If, for example, obviously we're moving away into the shorter days, but maybe a couple of years ago when the fasts were a lot longer, then yeah, you're not going to have much of an eating window and you're going to be fasting for long periods. That I probably understand. But for the most part, I don't think anyone needs electrolytes. It's all just marketing to take your money. And speaking of wanting your money, head on over to the description. There is a 90-day laid out for you plug and play template for South Asian people. If you want to lose weight, it's going to save you a hell of a lot of time if you don't want to work with us on our coaching program or hire a full-time coach. It's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to get you results. And I promise you, if you don't get any results, you'll get all your money back. Check it out in the link. The description's there. Have a little read through it and get some results.